A military investigation into the deadly plane crash in D.C. is now underway. Officials are now focusing on the movements of the chopper, particularly its altitude at the time of the collision. Rich Edson has the latest from the Pentagon.
The Pentagon says its investigation in the Blackhawk helicopter that struck a commercial jet is focused on altitude.
Was the Blackhawk too high? Was it on course? Right now, we don't quite know.
President Trump posted on social media that, quote, the Blackhawk helicopter was flying too high by a lot. It was far above the 200-foot limit. That's not really too complicated to understand, is it? Investigators announced that they had recovered the helicopter's black box, which officials say will help them understand what the pilots were saying and who was in control leading up to the crash.
Those black boxes are an absolute wealth of information. Were the engines operating normally? Was the GPS operating normally? Was the flight computer on? Were all the displays working? What were the last control inputs that the pilots actually did?
The Pentagon described Wednesday's Blackhawk flight as part of routine nighttime training, so the pilots could fly through airspace they'd navigate in their jobs, transporting some of the most senior federal officials.
There are many things that happen in and around the Capitol that ensure, in a contingency, in an emergency, our government is able to continue to operate. You need to rehearse in ways that would reflect a real-world scenario.
The FAA announced that it will, quote, restrict helicopter traffic in the area over the Potomac River around Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. The restriction exempts helicopters entering this airspace for life-saving medical support, active law enforcement, active air defense, or presidential transport helicopter missions. An FAA database has 30 records of near mid-air misses at Reagan National Airport since 1987. At least 10 involved military aircraft. At least 7 were military helicopters. At the Pentagon, Rich Edson, Fox News.